All right, I'm going to come around and give Thomas tallies for excellence and responses. Go ahead. Make sure you write the date. Yeah, Eric, go ahead. Get Derek to play. Sorry. Don't worry about homework. Change your date. Angel's got a book report to turn in. She's going to share it at the end of class. Can't wait. Come in silently and start your do now. Lester, can you come again with your backpack where how it should be? Start your do now. Looking forward to seeing a lot of book reports this week. Allie, don't worry about homework tonight. Yeah. There are lots of ways they're liking different. Try to list as many as you can. I've had people in other classes write entire pages. While you guys are working, remind me, what's a fancy word for talking about how two things are alike? Tariq? Compare, exactly. And what's a fancy word for talking about how two things are different? Courtney?
Contrast.
Contrast,
And
good.
I also have something to see. I didn't do my homework because I finished my book already.
You need a book report sheet, right?
No, I already did the book report sheet. I'm working on my project.
Okay, that's fine. Can't wait to see it. Got a Thomas tally for Allie. Diamond, Diaja. Angel. Kyla. Alfred, good job. Can you put your chair in your back permission? Good job, Courtney. Good job, Sheree. Got one person in this room who thinks it's okay to whisper. Good job, Renata. Good job, Anita. Great job. Take about 1 minute to finish up, guys. Okay, are they different? I don't know that. Yeah. Allie's got about 3/4 of a page just about how they're alike. Today we're going to learn something. We're actually going to learn a lot about zero today when we read. I'm excited to start reading. If you've seen the movie, you may know, but just know that in our book today we're going to learn something pretty exciting about zero. Andrew, what's the question for numbers purposes? What do you want to talk today? You need to write your book.
Why are you interested in learning about zero?
Because we don't know all there is to know yet.
But Mr. Pandasi gives away about how he works here.
Did he? Let's see. All right, guys. Pencils down, please. In 3, 2, 1. We're going to share in a second. We're going to share. No boys' bathroom right now because it's flooding. We're going to share in a second with the person across from us. So the only person who's going to be a group of 3 is Allie, Diaja, and Angel. I'll share. I want you to do this first. I want you to talk about how Stanley and the other campers are alike. We're just going to talk about how they're alike, or we're going to compare them. So with the person across from you, talk about how Stanley and the other campers are alike. Go ahead. Three comparisons. Where do you start? How they're alike. Just how they're alike.
Boys are silly. The campers are so funny. The boys are so similar to
Wrap it up in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to hear your answers later. Group of 3 girls, sorry if not everybody got to share. Now, when we do different, whoever didn't get to share, you start. Now I want you guys to talk about how Stanley and the rest of the campers are different with the exact same partner. If one of you didn't get to share, make sure you share now. Go. Are they
They're different because
All right, wrap it up in 3, 2, 1. We're going to get back to your answers very shortly, and we're actually going to work together to write one perfect response answering that question. And a perfect response for upcoming 5th graders, you guys, a perfect response, I'll give you 2 sheets, is going to be at least 5 or 6 sentences, and I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for. That'll be our exit ticket for today. You're going to write a compare, contrast essay. Real quick, remind me what compare means, Derek.
Compare means to say something that's the same about the comparison.
And remind me what contrast means, Rondasia.
To tell you what's different about the character.
So while I'm passing these out, these are all 2 sheets. While I'm passing these out, if you were going to compare and contrast, when we went to LSU and then when we went to Tulane, what is similar about both LSU and Tulane? I want 3 similar things. Allie Dallas. They're both colleges. What's another similar thing? Andrew Lewis. They're both in Louisiana. What's another similarity if we're comparing the two? Tariq.
They both are in different cities.
I don't know if that's how they're the same. You said the word different. What's something that's the same about both those places? Trigan. They're in Louisiana. I think we just said that. You can call somebody to help you out.
They both have a football team.
There we go. They both have a football team. Now let's talk about how they're different. What are 3 differences? We're going to contrast the two. What are 3 things that are different about LSU and Tulane? What's one, Tyler?
Yeah, LSU has a tiger and Tulane doesn't.
Well, do you know what Tulane's is? You know what Tulane's mascot is?
A whale.
Tyler, you can call on somebody to help. If you call on somebody who's right, I'll give you Tom style. Call on straight to him.
An eagle.
It's not an eagle. Call on somebody else, Tyler.
If you know it, raise your hand. Jasmine.
I'll take Pelican. 1 for Tyler. 1 for Baskin. There's an alternate one, though. McKnight. The Green Wave. Good. So McKnight, Baskin, Tyler. Alright. That's one way they're different. What are 2 more ways that Tulane and LSU are different? Diamond?
LSU is in Baton Rouge and
Tulane is in our city, New Orleans. One more way the 2 are different. DeShante? Tulane has a pool, and from what we saw, LSU did not, though I think they probably have a pool somewhere. All right, hands down. There will be plenty of other opportunities for Thomas tallies. Right now, it is time to learn our vocab for section 3. When I say a word, guys, I want every single person to say it after me. This is so you'll be able to pronounce it when we get to it in the book. Don't mumble it. Don't yell it. Just say it in a normal inside voice. So, everybody say the word. Go ahead, Lester. Everybody say the word defiant.
Defiant.
Good. Make sure you spell that. D-E-F-I-A-N-C-E. And defiance means refusing to follow directions or do what's expected. So if I was like, hey Alfred, stand up, and he just sat there and crossed his arms and looked at me, that would be an act of defiance. He would be refusing to do what I asked him to do. Need a pencil? You good? Yeah. Alright. Second word. We'll see defiance when we read today. Second word, say... Actually, do this. This word is R-E-S-E-N-T. How do you think you would say that? Just one person right now. How do you think you would say that word? Rhodesia?
Resent.
Yeah, you would. You would think it's resent. And if I'm thinking when I know about prefixes, I would be like, oh, re in front of sent, that would mean to send again. But that doesn't make sense, because sent is in the past tense. So it actually is pronounced resent with a Z sound. Everybody say resent.
Resent.
And resent, say it one more time, resent.
Resent.
And resent means to be angry at someone or upset about a situation. So we have school pretty late, but what if Miss McFetters was like, let's add one more week onto our school year?
No.
Yeah, right? So everyone would resent that. They would be upset about that situation. So make sure you're copying down resent. Let me just back it even further. Third word. You guys know this word. Say, this is actually something that we have, a similarity we have in New Orleans with the setting of holes. Say humid.
Humid.
Humid is H-U-M-I-D. Make sure you spell it correctly. Humid. Read me the definition, Baskin.
When the weather is very hot and damp.
When the weather is very hot and damp. So when it's humid outside, it's like sticky. You can feel it on your skin. At this time in New Orleans, it is usually very humid. Next word. Say ointment.
Ointment.
And then let's say it together. Ointment.
Ointment.
Not an oink like a pig oink. See it? It's O-I-N-T.
Oh.
M-E-N-T. Ointment. An ointment is cream or lotion for your skin. So any cream you put on your skin is ointment. Usually it's to keep your skin from getting dry. Number 5 is a word for those of you who want to be doctors. When you grow up, you'll hear this word a lot. It is remedy. Say remedy.
Remedy.
Everybody say remedy.
Remedy.
Remedy is a cure or solution. It's spelled R-E-M-E-D-Y. So for 2 Thomas Tallies, which one of our other vocabulary words that we've already just learned would be a remedy for a bug bite? Which one would be a remedy for a bug bite? Hands down. Derek?
The remedy for a bug bite could be like a cream.
So what's
or
that
a
word?
remedy. A remedy. A cream or lotion. Or
I want the
remedy or
vocabulary
a
word.
spray. An ointment.
An ointment. Thank you, Derek. Good job. Remedy is a cure or solution. And our last word for today is feeble. Say feeble.
Feeble.
I'll move it up. F-E-E-B-L-E. When you guys, actually, maybe once you guys graduate from college and I come to your college graduation, I'm in a wheelchair, I'll be a feeble man, I'll be weak or helpless from being sick and tired. I know that's hard to imagine now, but time sure flies. Yes?
So if I'm in 12th grade, so I won't be able to see you no more. I won't
Oh,
be
you
able
will.
to come back to this year and see you.
I'll be at your graduation. I'll be at y'all's high school graduation and when you guys graduate 8th grade. Alright, I'm going to put on a song. It's about 3 minutes. During that 3 minutes, I want to see your pencil moving. I want to see you either finishing copying down these definitions or working on your pictures. And I'll be coming around checking for excellent work. Right there. Make sure you write the words in the boxes. Do the pictures first. Terry, put the words on top of the box. You guys have about a minute and a half left.
Oh, good. That's it.
Alright guys, you can keep working. I want to hear what you put though. What did you draw for resent, Derek?
I drew
I drew.
a boy looking at a man with an angry face.
Alright, very good. I skipped the first one. What did you draw for defiance, Allie?
I drew a girl not refusing to do what a teacher said.
Who would do such a thing? Cool. I like that, Allie. What did you draw for humid, Diamond?
I drew the sun is made at the boy, so he's on like right by the boy, and the boy is like getting cool.
That's kind of. There's a video game I used to play that was like that. But that's kind of what it feels like when it's humid outside. It feels like the sun's mad at you and like won't leave you alone. What did you draw for ointment, McKnight? A bottle of lotion. What did you draw for remedy, Tariq?
Wait, I got an extra question.
All right, go for it.
Why do you still on the sign?
I didn't. I just did a second. What did you draw for remedy? You got there.
Well, I think I know why, because ain't resistant and the sign is like the same thing.
They're similar. They're pretty similar. Yeah. Tyler, let's answer. What did you draw for remedy?
Since human, I put a boy with a dead father because the sun burned it out. Remedy, I drew a boy who when it rains, his solution was it rained, his flower grew.
So when it's really good, Tyler. When it's really humid and it's sunny and you get sunburn, who can tell me a remedy for sunburn? What's a remedy for a sunburn? Andrew?
For sunburn is like,
Make sure you're tracking Andrew, guys.
I usually sunblock or lotion.
Okay, lotion or ointment would be a remedy for sunburn. Sunblock would be a way to prevent it. I like lotion as a remedy. Does anybody know the name of that green lotion that's a remedy for sunburn? McKnight? You know what I'm talking about? No? You put it on after. Diamond?
It's like when you go to the beach.
Yeah, but this is after you've already gotten sunburned. Maybe you guys don't get this, but if you get really sunburned, like I was out on the river the other weekend, there's this green stuff called aloe vera. It's a good remedy for sunburn. Can somebody tell me what they drew for feeble? For feeble, Derek? Did you draw me?
I drew an old man. That was like this.
An old hunched over man. Good. Okay, you guys have a chance to revisit your vocabulary tomorrow and finish pictures and write stories. For right now, clear your desks in 10. While you're clearing your desks, here's some Thomas Tally questions. These are review questions. What's the difference between autobiography and biography? Reg?
Autobiography is autobiography.
Difference between autobiography and biography.
A biography is something written by herself. An autobiography is something written by another person talks about it.
Ooh, can somebody correct Reg, please? Reg, listen up. Set them straight, Courtney.
Autobiography is when autobiography is when you write, like the person, you write it about yourself. A biography is like, it's like another person writes about you.
All right, very good. Can somebody give me?
When you write about another person.
Okay. Can somebody give me the definition of a flashback? A flashback, Angel Thompson? Yes. Can somebody give me the example, or not an example, the definition of foreshadowing? Foreshadowing? Derek?
The definition of foreshadowing is when you get a hint of when you might go back in time.
You get a hint of,
You get a hint of a flashback.
not a hint of a flashback, it sounds tough. Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing
Angel stuff.
is when something's going to happen in the future.
And so if I combine you and Derek's answers, I get a perfect one. Foreshadowing is a hint of something to come. Talk to me about the types of conflict that we learned about in novels. What are the 4 types of conflict? First of all, what is conflict? Conflict is what, Joels? It's an action, yeah. More specific, conflict is a... Baskin?
Conflict is
There's one of these in every story. Makes it interesting. Say it loud.
a problem.
Conflict is a problem. We talked about 4 types. Can you tell me the 4 types of problems? Just give me one at a time. Renell? Man versus man. Diaja?
Wait, he's doing a man or
He did. You can use character or man.
character versus self.
Character versus self. Good. 2 more. McKnight? Character versus society. And last one. Rondasia?
Man versus nature.
Man or character versus nature. Cool. Alright, guys, track me. You don't have to sit and slant, but I do want to talk to you for a second. And I'm about to model on the board, and I'm going to need you to stay focused, because I'm going to be showing you exactly what you're going to be doing as your exit ticket. So, last IA, there was a big question at the end about comparing and contrasting. I think you guys can tell me, what's it mean to compare, Renell? Put 2 things together, kinda. What's it mean to compare? Every hand should be up. What's it mean to compare, Alfred? Maybe we need to review this. Talk loud, Alfred.
You take 2 things and compare them to someone else.
Okay, so if you compare, you're talking about how things are alike. What are you doing if you compare now? Alright. And then if you contrast, what are you doing, Shante? Contrast how things are different. So when I graded your essays, it seemed to me like you guys knew what compare and contrast meant. What you had trouble with, maybe it's because it was a long test. You had trouble using really specific evidence to compare and contrast, to talk about how things are alike and how things are different. So you guys spoke earlier with your partners about how Stanley and the other campers are like. So your exit ticket today is going to be to compare and contrast, so we're going to learn something about 0. So at the end of the lesson, you're going to compare and contrast how Stanley feels about 0 and how the other campers feels about 0. To give you an example of what I'm looking for, let's do a perfect version of your do now. How are Stanley and the other campers alike? Who's got a sentence to start me off there? How are Stanley and the other campers alike? You're going to see that I can write 6, 7 sentences real easy about this little question. It's a 2-headed monster, but I can write a lot about it. So what's one way that they're alike? Give me a complete sentence that would start this essay off. Todd.
One way that Stanley and the other campers are alike is because every single camper lives in a tent.
And let's be specific. When we're using specific details, we can actually tell what tent they live in. What tent do they live in? Somebody else, Courtney?
They live in a tent, and also...
But I want to know the name of the
I
tent.
can say something I have...
In a second, I want to know the name of the tent first, Diasha.
Tent D.
They all live in tent D. So, that's one specific way that they are alike. I wrote a complete sentence, capital letter, period. I'm not done. There are tons of ways they're alike. How else can I say they're alike? Angel, give me a total set. Actually, you guys can all turn and talk. What would be the next sentence here? What could I say next in this essay? Tell me. I like that. You guys talk. How are they alike? That's good. Wrap it up in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Next sentence. What could I say? Diamond?
Another way saying other difference I like is that they make holes and they're boys.
Okay, I'm going to go with a fancy word. Another similarity is that they all are boys who dig holes. Can I get one more way they're alike? Tyler?
They're like because all of them can't greenly because they do something wrong.
And did they?
No. Okay, well. That could be different.
Stanley didn't. So let's save that. Let's go ahead and talk about how they're different. You guys turn and talk. Give me a complete sentence. How could I say they're different? Go talk. I'll get to you in a second.
I know, but see, you talking about the book.
Wrap it up in 3, 2, 1. Courtney Davis, before I get to hands, what do you want to say? You're about to
I
explode.
wanted to say that another similarity is that they all have
Great. That's actually really good. And I can even get more specific. If I wanted to include Courtney's sentence, one more similarity is they all have nicknames. I could say, for example, and then what could I say? Somebody raised their hand. What's an example I could use there? For example, what? Diaja, what could I say?
that
I'm giving specific evidence about nicknames. For example, give me some examples.
the nicknames
Uh-huh. Guys, track the other.
caveman,
Okay, so for example, who? Make it a complete sentence.
Stanley is caveman.
And, give me another one.
X-ray. Wait.
That's his nickname. What's his real name?
Ray.
Rex.
Rex. Nickname is X-ray.
Alright, awesome. Now, read the sentence that I wrote while you guys were talking. What does it say, Alfred?
There are also no difference between Stanley and the
So I put that sentence in there so the reader would know that now I'm no longer talking about similarities. I'm no longer comparing. Now I'm contrasting. I'm talking about differences. So give me a difference between Stanley and the rest of the campers, Andrew Lewis.
The difference is that
Let's make sure we're tracking Andrew and not making any weird noises. Thank you. Andrew.
Not all of them are like Stanley, but yeah, I think also Bill, because he doesn't have that shovel that different stances.
Courtney, point. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Not all of the campers are lucky because Stanley finds I think 02, he doesn't have a shovel that uses spoons.
Okay, so one difference is that Stanley, I could say finds, but I could use a vocabulary word instead for digging. Bathroom hands down for now. What's the vocabulary we're going to use for digging? Yes? Okay, I could say one difference is Stanley excavates a fossil, and no one else does that. What's another difference I could say? It's the last sentence I'm going to write. Allie.